Good morning everyone, I'm Alessio and welcome to NFTs. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a marketing consultant and social media strategist. Over the last couple of months, I've spent far too much time across Twitter, Discord, Instagram, YouTube, you name it, researching NFTs and just trying to get to know the space. Having spent that much time and being obsessed with trying to be productive, I thought I'd turn it into YouTube videos and see what I can do from there. A project that's caught my eye over the last couple of months and I'm super excited about is CloneX. Previously called Akira by RTFKT Studios. It's coming out hopefully some point in October, and what we'll be doing today is doing a deep dive into the project and everything that's going on around it. And hopefully you'll get a bit of an understanding of the thought processes that go into the research when it comes to identifying projects that you might be bullish on. I think this one is one that most people are bullish on, probably one of the most hyped NFT projects after Mekaverse. Before we dive into it, if you could like this video and maybe comment below a project that you'd like me to review next, I'll check all of the comments out and kind of take a guide there. So yeah, let's dive straight into it. So first things first, RTFKT Studio, the business behind the Clone X PFP project. The reason I really like these guys and the reason I'm really bullish on this project altogether is the fact that they've been around since August of 2020. And when they originally started in the NFT space, they weren't here capitalizing on the profile picture trend. Instead, these guys have been around building clothing for the metaverse, and they're now getting to the stage where they're building the potential projects or the individual avatars that might be able to wear the NFTs that they've created in the past. Since they've been around, they've been producing streetwear and sneakers for the metaverse. This includes partnerships with influencers in the past, like Fuchsia's, and one of the other projects that they did, and the project which arguably made them the most famous, is their punk sneakers. They're punk sneakers. The way that this worked is that if you owned a punk, you could essentially mint or forge a set of sneakers that matched the colorways of your punk. This did particularly well in the community and it really blew them up as a business. And the most important thing about the punk partnership is it just really shows their understanding of the NFT space in general, their understanding of the community and the type of things that gets the community excited. And for me, that's a really important element, that they understand what's going on, especially when it comes to future drops and what they'll actually be doing with the current project. Now, one of the things I really like about RTFKT Studios is that the founders are all over Twitter. They're sharing the journey as they're going along it and really showcasing the excitement of what it means to them building RTFKT Studios. This makes me really bullish in two ways. One, they've managed to build an audience by telling the story of their project. You can see by the things they share that they're genuinely proud of what they're doing, and that really gives this idea that A, they're not going to just drop this project and do a rug pull like many other NFT projects in the space at the moment, and B, they have an audience that's interested in RTFKT Studios and the journey that they've been on, which gets them invested, and it means that there's long-term potential from these individuals as well. By having shared the story of growing RTFKT Studios over the last 2 years, they've managed to become thought leaders within the NFT space. And when we take an example of that from other industries like the marketing industry, we look at Gary Vee and the way that his brand growth and telling the story of the growth of VaynerMedia and the impact that that had on VaynerMedia. It just makes me really bullish that them continuing to talk about their projects and what they're looking to do is going to be really, really beneficial to the growth of RTFKT Studios and the value of all of the projects under that. Next, and most importantly for me as a marketeer, is the community. There's a couple of things about these guys that I really, really like. The first one is when we have a look at their Twitter and their Discord, obviously they've got a large audience. You know, it's a big community, it's highly engaged, and that's a great starting point. But the first thing to do when you've got these big numbers is to really look at what's going on within these communities, where does the value come from, and what's the conversation of these individuals within the space like. Now, the best place to look to figure out what the quality of the community is like, I think, is Discord. When we have a look at the RTFKT Studios Discord, you can see that the majority of the discussion isn't necessarily around floor price, but it's about the excitement of the artwork, the project, and where it can go in the future. And for me, these are all signs that the community is interested in more than just a quick and easy flip. The next thing that I really like about these guys when it comes to the Discord is the fact that they've involved the artist community in the production of the project. This means that the artists in the NFT space have been able to collaborate and provide different textures and assets for the avatars, and that gets their buy-in. Now, knowing that a lot of artists in the space are working to build their own audiences across Twitter, Discord, Instagram, is going to mean that any of the artists that have participated in the production of the project itself are also going to be willing to share the fact that they've taken part. And again, that's going to be a great way to really help grow the project and continue that hype post-launch. But the thing that's really different about these guys compared to any other project that I'm seeing at the moment is that they're huge on TikTok and Instagram. They've been established for a while and they've been sharing the impact of what the metaverse might look like in their version across these channels. And when we have a look at their TikTok, for example, you can see that they've got a highly engaged audience. They're getting, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. And what they're showcasing here is the impact that the metaverse NFTs might be able to have when it comes to virtual worlds like AR and potentially VR in the future as well. Now let's talk about the artwork. The artwork for these guys is absolutely unreal. Over the last month, we've definitely seen a transition in the quality of profile picture avatar collections. It started with these 8-bit, then we transitioned to this cartoon style, and now 3D is very much the latest trend. Now, we know that Mekaverse really set a standard here for the most beautiful assets in the space, but I think Akira or now CloneX have really set something that is phenomenal. The textures, the different styles, you can see from the sneak peeks that they've done just how beautiful all of the different characters are, and the attention to detail and the general variety in the different traits is really, really impressive. When we have a look at some of the previous Medium posts that have been released about the projects, we get an idea of what their roadmap might look like and what's kind of coming up within the space. So the first thing that I think that's really interesting when we have a look at is the fact that you get lifetime benefits for RTFKT Studios. We don't necessarily know what that means, but having had a look at previous projects, we get an idea that this might mean access to future mints or anything like that. The second is that the owner of the avatar will also get a 3D in real life model, which I think is really cool. And knowing how much people like to have little mini figurines around their house, I think this is definitely a project that will have that similar sense of hype behind it. RTFKT Studios are known for their forging events, as we kind of talked about with the punk, and there's no exception here. CloneX will also have access to forging events across sneakers and merch, so it's great to see that. Lastly, they've also said that they've done over 200 artifact traits, which is super exciting. Just from the sneak peeks that we've had so far, from the masks to these like Medusa heads, we know that these traits are super well thought out and really artistic, so I'm just excited for the mint and just to see the different types of traits that come out then. Talking about the mint, let's check out the website. I think the first thing that you notice when you have a look at the website is that it is phenomenal. It is nothing like the other profile picture project NFTs that you see coming out. There's no copy and paste here. It is very unique, and the artwork in the background is absolutely beautiful. The first thing they tell us is the fact that it's launching sometime in mid-October. So we've got a couple of weeks to wait before it comes out, and it's definitely something to keep an eye on the Discord. It's probably going to be the place where you get the information first. Scrolling through the backstory, we get a little bit more of an idea of the story behind CloneX. We know it's 3 extraterrestrials, kind of like the founders, who are helping or planning on transferring all human consciousness into these advanced clones. In this advanced civilizations, the humans no longer reside in our organic forms, but instead they're represented by their CloneX, this avatar that we'll all be purchasing and we'll all be able to sort of play along with this storyline. And the part of the story which I really like is the fact that this development allows clones to travel across different galaxies, which gives the idea that in the metaverse that they might be creating, there'll be different locations and different worlds that you'll be able to visit. The thing I really recommend here is just to watch the video. It showcases the high quality of the assets that they're producing, and if the gameplay or if the metaverse that they produce is anything like this, it's going to be a wonder to play. The other thing that we know is that there's 20,000 of these avatars. 10,000 of these will be available at pre-sale, and I'll go into that in a little bit more detail in a second, and they'll all be available at 0.05 ETH, which is a really reasonable price, and the reason why they kept the price so low is so that new individuals and new audiences can come in and join the NFT space through RTFKT Studios. There will also be 10,000 avatars available post-sale, and we haven't been told the exact price of these yet, but we know that it's going to be in an auction format. Now, they're saying that the reason for this is to help avoid the gas wars that have been going on, so it'll be really interesting to see how that goes, and I'm really hoping to be able to cop one during that moment. So if you want to be able to get on that 10,000 pre-sale at 0.05, firstly, you need to register with RTFKT Studios, which you can do through the website, and it's nice and easy. And the second thing is that you need to purchase one of their previous projects, and that is a small barrier to entry. The current floor price of these is really high. It's above 10 ETH for any of the previous projects, and as you can see here, like, they're amazing, but as they're acting as a mint pass, and some of these will be able to give you the purchase of 3, the price of their previous projects has really shot up. Now, the thing I like about this, however, is that they're showing that what they can do is they can bring value to previous holders and to original holders. So if you get access to and you manage to mint one of these CloneX, it's very worthwhile holding it, because you know that A, there's a huge community which are interested in these guys in the long term, And B, as a holder of an original piece, you're going to have benefits in the future. So if you manage to get a hold of it, hold on tightly and send it to me. If not, I'll highly appreciate it. So that's all the information that we've got available for us for now. If you found any other elements which I missed out, please feel free to comment them below. I'm super interested in reading as much about this project as possible. Although I don't currently hold one of the previous NFTs, I'll be trying to get in on the post or the general sale if I'm lucky enough. If not, I'll see what things are like on the secondary market, as I really do believe that this project has a lot of long-term potential, and RTFKT Studios are one of the real game changers in the NFT space as a whole. So as a business, super bullish on them and excited to try and get some form of way into their projects, as I know that they'll be doing a lot of interesting things in the space. If you've got any other projects that you'd like me to review, just drop them down below and I'll give them a read over the next couple of days. Thanks very much for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up, and yeah, thank you very much for your time. Cheers.